Hello there. My name is Prashant, and I've been in design for more than 20 years now. I graduated as an architect back in 2002, and even though I loved architecture very much, I was always more interested at the product level design and innovation. So I did my post-graduation in product design from IIT Delhi, which I finished in 2004. And since then, it has been a steady ride for me where I have worked with all kinds of small, medium, and large organizations across the globe. Typically, when I describe my career, I like to describe it in the form of three buckets. There is one bucket of 5 years where I have worked in physical product design domain. Things like phone cases, microscopes, door handles, sublimation machines, street lights, customized vehicles, so on and so forth. This is the time when I learned about the processes of manufacturing, how assembly works, and how supply chain works. This gave me a very good insight into the nuances involved in making something from a sketch on a paper to a real object in the physical world. The second bucket of my experience has been in the domain of retail and branding, where I spent about 7 years working with organizations and brand managers to help them communicate their brand story and showcase their product and services to their customers at various touch points in the retail environment. Here, my biggest learning was that it is extremely important that a product and a service matches with the promises that we set out in our brand story, because without it, it's very difficult to create a long-term sustaining value in the minds of our customers about our brand and therefore about our business. The third and the largest bucket has been in the domain of digital product design. Here, I've spent more than 8 years working with a large number of organizations across the globe. I got a chance to be on large, culturally diverse team that were also very, very talented in terms of their craft, which is design. I also got the chance to work under some very able design leadership who knew how to operate design in a complicated environment at scale. Thanks to this experience of working with talented teams and able design leadership, I was able to see, understand, and learn the best practices required to run design in a complex environment at a large scale for consistent delivery of design with speed and quality. I was able to use some of these learnings in many of the leadership assignments of my own later on in my career. In this period of 8 years of working in digital product design, I got to work on at least 10 to 12 large-scale enterprise applications. All of these applications were complex use cases where we had to understand the complex business processes and come up with solutions to carry out these operations in a very user-friendly, intuitive way, thereby enhancing the efficiency of the overall business. Use cases ranged from an application that we did to manage the data sharing between a buyer and a seller in an M&A deal. We did one application which predicted the failure rate of very high value assets for an energy company so that they could take actions at the right time and prevent the failure of those assets and therefore prevent the disruption of service to their customers. Another application consisted of use cases that manage the distribution of energy produced by a network of wind farms across the wide geography in Europe. There was another project where we developed a suite of applications that were required to run the fleet of robots on the floor of an automated warehouse. Like I mentioned, all of these use cases have been very complex use cases, and we were able to deliver solutions that made impact at the level of business. In my career, I have fulfilled two types of roles. There have been IC roles, individual contributor, and there have been leadership roles. When I'm working on a project as an IC, my focus is on the excellence of execution. I focus on the core craft of design, where I make sure that I run through each stage of the design process in great detail. And I also ensure that the deliverables and artifacts which are required to be produced in each of these stages of this overall design process are of top quality. On the other hand, when I'm working as a leader, I focus on my role of being a facilitator of success for my team. Here, I think about strategies, frameworks, operating models, which could help team in achieving their goal of producing great designs. I focus on putting together a structure where all the stakeholders come together and collaborate effectively, and they're able to do so at scale consistently for a long period of time. As a leader of large teams, one of my most important goals has been to mentor my team members in terms of their career path. I work with them closely to carve out a path for them according to their own ambitions. And then I do everything in my capacity to make sure that they're able to achieve the goals that they have set for themselves. That's it. That was my short introduction. I hope you found it interesting. If you have any comments or feedback, then please do reach out to me. Also, if you feel that my experience and skills could be of value on any of the projects that you are working on, then I would be very happy to hear about any collaboration opportunities as well. I am very excited about the future opportunities. Bye-bye.